Just finished my breakfast, and today we're going to go and visit my friend who runs Total Blasting, which is a shot blasting company.
What, like guns that fire shot?
For steel and fiberglass hulled boats. We'll find out a bit more about that. I thought it might be an interesting bit of content to put up. I'm going to take the comments off on this one. I have so many positive comments and I get questions from regular subscribers, but you always get at least one person who can either be blatantly rude or just tell you how something has to be done. In a lot of cases, as the expression goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Not that I'm into skinning cats. I'm generally quite chilled sort of person, but sometimes these comments just...
I will look for you. I will find you.
So the comments are, they're going to come off for this one. Hope you enjoy it, and I like to think that I'm going to find out plenty as well. I know my friend's a knowledgeable guy. So let's go and do this. Just heading down to see my mate who's doing some shot blasting. Have a little chat to him. Before I could go in the tent and see my friend Peter shot blasting a steel boat, Connor here, one of the team, hooked me up with some PPE to make sure I didn't go blind and I didn't go deaf. To be fair, I am in my mid-50s, my eyes went years ago and my hearing's not much better. How much does that use each time? Like how quick you get through a bag?
You put in 3 bags at a time.
Right.
Probably lasts 20 minutes.
Okay.
This is
you get different grades of that as well, do you?
Yeah. This is just recycled glass, you know.
Okay. How do you know what to use for what job? Is it based on the metal or the smoothness that you're trying to get?
There's different grades of like cleaning the metal, right, and it has to be SA 2.5, I think, for the paint to adhere properly. But we could go easily through a whole ton to do this, you know? Really? Whole pallet.
Here he is! Lord Vader! Anything that was covering up any areas that needed to be blasted had to be removed. Here Connor is removing the old anodes. Once all the hull work is fully completed, new anodes, or sacrificial anodes as they're also known, will be fitted.
A few moments later.
So this is the area that we basically got shot blasted, but we're using glass this time. Not normally, but we go for either glass or iron silica, which is big stuff under here, sort of black stuff, right, which is a lot heavier. And this boat in particular, the main reason we're doing this is because it hasn't been maintained perfectly, to be quite honest. There's quite a few areas that come along here. You look where it's actually got rust and pitting, because it just hasn't had paint on in the last 2 seasons. It hasn't come out of the water.
Okay,
Originally, it would have had an epoxy coat out the factory, which you'll see is this sort of white or this grey layer, and then they'll normally prime and anti-foul on top of that.
Okay.
So you can see where we blasted, you can see these pit areas where it's got right in there. The reason we shot blasted is it's the perfect way of preparing a surface for paint, basically. You could sit here for weeks on end with a sander and a grinder, but the steel work wouldn't be prepared enough still for the epoxy to stick long term.
Right, okay.
So I'm still seeing boats now that I shot blasted 20 years ago, and they're coming out and they're absolutely perfect.
And how many coats of paint and whatnot do you put on there?
So this one, as soon as we finish it, what we do is the minute we put the blaster down, we put a coat of epoxy on it. Right. If we left it overnight, it would well, by the time we come back in the morning, it would have gone rusty. It would be surface rust.
Just because of the moisture in the air?
Just because of the moisture. Obviously it's colder at this time of year, and then I'd have to blast it all again. So it'd be completely wasted.
Wow.
And then we'll go 4 coats of epoxy. Normally we'll go with a grey colour first, and then a black, and then another grey and another black. That just ensures that we cover every single square
inch. So you can see what you've actually done.
Exactly, yeah. Right. We roller it on to get a real good thickness.
Yeah. Once
we've done that, this is a cruiser style boat. Okay. We'll give it a coat of primer and then 2 coats of anti-foul, chosen anti-foul. Normally a hard anti-foul, depends where it is. We're freshwater here on the River Thames, so we normally use quite a soft anti-foul. Yeah. The reason we use an anti-foul is because it's sort of self-eroding as you use the boat. All the growth will fall off every time you use it.
Yeah, slowing the boat down.
Exactly. Right. On the canals, canal boats, barges, they tend to use blacking basically. Used to be pitch back in the day, which is the same sort of thing, but they used to have to sort of heat it up and smear it on, but now it's blacking.
So very different boats.
Yeah, and there's so many different types of paint. The epoxy that we use on here is the same stuff they use on the oil rigs in the North Sea. So you know it's good, basically.
Oh wow, okay.
So, and I've been using it for a long time.
Interesting.
Haven't had any complaints.
Yeah. So that section you've just done there, how many bags is that?
That was 3 bags. Yeah. I think they're about 15 kilo bags. So it's about 45 kilos of grip. Yeah. If you would have sat there for what, 3-4 hours at least with a grinder in your hand, and you'd probably take off more of the good material, i.e. the steel, than you would want to rather than shot blasting.
Yeah, you'd start eating into the metal and
exactly.
You're never going to get a finish like that, are you? If you did it with a grinder?
Never going to get a finish like that. No. Yeah. You can actually still see the grind marks from the factory where they've obviously linished.
Oh wow, is that what that is? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, and also a lot of the steel work that comes out of factory still has mill scale on it. Now, in the long run, paint doesn't like mill scale, so it'll also come away from the mill scale. So sometimes you'll see like a dark black shadow on steel work, and that's what's the scale that's come out of the factory.
Oh wow!
It's been fiberglass boats. Some people, if you didn't have corrosion or rust, obviously the easiest way to get back to this sort of surface on a steel or a glass boat, if you wanted to re-anti-foul and have a really beautiful finish, you can shot blast it. We tend to have a different nozzle with fiberglass boats where we attach a hose to it.
Right.
So it fires water out at the same time. Slurry blast, they call it, basically.
Oh, interesting. Never heard of that.
And that'll take all of your anti-foul and your primer off.
Yeah.
And you use a really light grit or sand, so it doesn't cut into your gel coat.
Right. And I guess the water's stopping a lot of that cutting in as well.
The water's stopping it, and it keeps the dust down as well, which is quite good.
Interesting.
Whereas we've got to put tents over all sorts, and then we've got to normally get a skip in and get all this back into a skip and taken off to a facility so it can be disposed of correctly.
You've got a lot of prep work and a lot of work of clearing up after as well.
Exactly, yeah. Once we've done all the coats of paint, then we'll re-weld anodes onto it, get any other stern gear work or props refurbed, and then it's back off to the new owner. This particular boat's going up for sale, so they wanted to make sure it gets everything it needs underneath before they sell it.
Excellent. Nice one. Thank you, mate.
Nice one.
Appreciate that.
Cheers, dude.
Thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting. I know I certainly did. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.